Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
A decorative texture or appearance of a surface, or the substance that gives it that appearance. A thin layer covering something. The work of applying something. The surface was ready for a coating of paint. A heavy fabric suitable for coats. A decorative texture or appearance of a surface, or the substance that gives it that appearance. The boat had a metallic finish. Event whose occurrence ends something. When these final episodes are broadcast, it will be the finish of the show. Finish eating all the food on one's plate or on the table. Finally, be or do something. The temporal end, the concluding time. The market was up at the finish. A highly developed state of perfection, having a flawless or impeccable quality. Almost an inspiration which gives to all work that finish which is almost art. Have an end, in a temporal, spatial, or quantitative sense, either spatial or metaphorical. The act of finishing. His best finish in a major tournament was third. Come or bring to a finish or an end. He finished the dishes. The place designated as the end, as of a race or journey. A crowd assembled at the finish. Cause to finish a relationship with somebody. That finished me with Mary. Designated event that concludes a contest, especially a race. Excitement grew as the finish neared. Provide with a finish. The carpenter finished the table beautifully. The downfall of someone, as of persons on one side of a conflict. Booze will be the finish of him. Wine tasting. The taste of a wine on the back of the tongue, as it is swallowed. The wine has a nutty flavor and a pleasant finish. A decorative texture or appearance of a surface, or the substance that gives it that appearance. The act of finishing. The speaker's finishing was greeted with applause. Put a coat on. Cover the surface of. Furnish with a surface. Coat the cake with chocolate. A thin layer covering something. A second coat of paint. Form a coat over. Dirt had coated her face. Growth of hair or wool or fur covering the body of an animal. An outer garment that has sleeves and covers the body from shoulder down, worn outdoors. Cover or provide with a coat. Liquid preparation having a soothing or antiseptic or medicinal action when applied to the skin. The act of bringing something to bear, using it for a particular purpose. He advocated the application of statistics to the problem. The work of applying something. The doctor prescribed a topical application of iodine. A program that gives a computer instructions that provide the user with tools to accomplish a task. He has tried several different word processing applications. A diligent effort. It is a job requiring serious application. A verbal or written request for assistance or employment or admission to a school. December 31st is the deadline for applications. The action of putting something into operation. The application of maximum thrust. The act of concealing the existence of something by obstructing the view of it. The work of applying something. A natural object that covers or envelops. Under a covering of dust. An artifact that covers something else, usually to protect or shelter or conceal it. The act of protecting something by covering it. An appearance that serves to decorate and make something more attractive. Labor done with the hands. Labor done with the hands. Artifact made by weaving or felting or knitting or crocheting natural or synthetic fibers. She measured off enough material for a dress. Having substance or capable of being treated as fact, not imaginary. Having material or physical form or substance. The tangible substance that goes into the makeup of a physical object. Coal is a hard black material. A person judged suitable for admission or employment. He was university material. Concerned with or affecting physical as distinct from intellectual or psychological well-being. Material needs. Concerned with worldly rather than spiritual interests. Material possessions. Derived from or composed of matter. The material universe. Directly relevant to a matter, especially a law case. His support made a material difference. Information, data or ideas or observations, that can be used or reworked into a finished form. The archives provided rich material for a definitive biography. Things needed for doing or making something. Writing materials. Artifact made by weaving or felting or knitting or crocheting natural or synthetic fibers. Woven cloth originated in Mesopotamia around 5000 BC. Artifact made by weaving or felting or knitting or crocheting natural or synthetic fibers. The fabric in the curtains was light and semi-transparent. The underlying structure. It is part of the fabric of society. Artifact made by weaving or felting or knitting or crocheting natural or synthetic fibers. Of or relating to fabrics or fabric making. Textile research. A shiny finish put on shoes with polish and buffing. His trousers had a sharp crease and you could see your reflection in his shoe shine. The act of shining shoes. He charged $1 for a shoe shine. Become glassy or take on a glass-like appearance. Her eyes glaze over when she is bored. Furnish with glass. Coat with something sweet, such as a hard sugar glaze. A coating for ceramics, metal, etc. A glossy finish on a fabric. Any of various thin, shiny, savory or sweet coatings applied to foods. Coat with a glaze. The potter glazed the dishes. A protective coating of asphalt and filter used on structural metals that are exposed to weathering. A coating of gold or of something that looks like gold. A coating of gold or of something that looks like gold. Having the deep, slightly brownish color of gold. Cover with varnish. A coating that provides a hard, lustrous, transparent finish to a surface. An ornamental coating to a building. Coating consisting of a thin layer of superior wood glued to a base of inferior wood. Cover with veneer. Veneer the furniture to protect it. Coating consisting of a thin layer of superior wood glued to a base of inferior wood. The act of applying veneer. The act of treating something to make it repel water. A coating capable of making a surface waterproof. A black resinous substance obtained from certain trees and used as a natural varnish. A hard glossy coating. Coat with lacquer. A lacquered box from China. A light sensitive coating on paper or film, consists of fine grains of silver bromide suspended in a gelatin. Chemistry. A colloid in which both phases are liquids. An oil in water emulsion. A fine coating of oxide, produced by oxidation over a long period of time, on the surface of a metal, particularly copper. A gloss or sheen on wooden furniture produced by age, polishing, or handling. An acquired change in the appearance of something, other than metal or wood. A patina of frost. The final coating of, e.g., paint, plaster, varnish, etc. A light sensitive coating on paper or film, consists of fine grains of silver bromide suspended in a gelatin. A substance used as a coating to protect or decorate a surface, especially a mixture of pigment suspended in a liquid, dries to form a hard coating. Artists use paint and pigment interchangeably. Acquire pigment. Become colored or imbued. Any substance whose presence in plant or animal tissues produces a characteristic color. Color or dye with a pigment. Pigment a photograph. Dry coloring material, especially a powder to be mixed with a liquid to produce paint, etc. The final coating of, e.g., paint, plaster, varnish, etc. We can't paint until they put on the finishing coat. A thin coating of metal deposited on a surface. The application of a thin coat of metal, as by electrolysis. A written communication in a second language having the same meaning as the written communication in a first language. An explanation of something that is not immediately obvious. The act of interpreting something as expressed in an artistic performance. A performance of a musical composition or a dramatic role, etc. A coat of stucco applied to a masonry wall. Giving an acknowledgement of obligation. Perspective drawing of an architect's design.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.